Liverpool have received a significant boost ahead of their titanic showdown with Arsenal this weekend, as Mikel Arteta confirmed 2 guaranteed absentees and raised fresh doubts over 3 more key players. The Gunners arrive at Anfield with their squad stretched and confidence shaken, just as the reigning champions look to maintain their perfect start under Arne Slot. Arsenal will be without Bukayo Saka and Kai Havertz, 2 vital figures in Arteta's attacking setup, while the fitness of Martin Ødegaard, Ben White, and Christian Nørgaard hangs precariously in the balance. It is the kind of injury storm no manager wants when traveling to Anfield, and Liverpool could be primed to capitalize. The headline news surrounds Bukayo Saka, Arsenal's talismanic winger, who limped off during last weekend's emphatic 5-0 victory over Leeds United. Saka, who found the net before clutching his hamstring, was immediately flagged as a major doubt. Arteta has now confirmed the diagnosis. Bukayo is doing better, but he will be out for a few weeks. No surgery. It's not as bad as the previous one, but very unfortunate. With his electric pace and direct threat, Saka's absence will be painfully felt against a Liverpool side that thrive on pressing high and exploiting defensive hesitations. If that wasn't enough, Kai Havertz joins the casualty list. The German midfielder had already missed the Leeds clash after picking up a knee issue in the opening game of the season against Manchester United. Not only did that rule him out domestically, but Germany also excluded him from their September international squad. Arteta was visibly frustrated when addressing Havertz's setback. "I think it will be weeks, but hopefully not months. Very sad. This is our profession, and we lose another player for many weeks." For a manager who relies on squad depth and tactical flexibility, losing both Saka and Havertz in quick succession is a severe blow. But the concerns don't end there. Captain Martin Ødegaard, the creative heartbeat of Arsenal, was forced off against Leeds with a shoulder problem. His status remains in doubt, with Arteta admitting, "We don't know yet. He hasn't trained. If he does, it will be tomorrow. There is an injury there, but we'll see if he can cope with it." Meanwhile, Ben White and Christian Nørgaard also face a race against time. White sat out the Leeds game, while Nørgaard has now missed 2 consecutive fixtures and was left out of Denmark's national squad. Arteta's words reflected his uncertainty. "We don't know. Let's see how both are tomorrow to give them a chance." For Liverpool, the news could hardly be better. Slot confirmed Alexis Mac Allister, Connor Bradley and Virgil van Dijk have all trained and are in contention. Mac Allister, who missed the Newcastle clash, is available again, while Bradley made a cameo in that very game. Van Dijk, who took a heavy knock from Anthony Gordon, has also been cleared. The only setback remains Jeremy Frimpong, sidelined until after the September international break with a hamstring injury. The stakes are clear. Both clubs sit among the early frontrunners, each chasing maximum points, but Arsenal's injury crisis could tilt the scales firmly in Liverpool's favor. At Anfield, with a full-throttle crowd and a revitalized squad, Slot's champions know they have a golden chance to strike a psychological blow in the title race as early as August. The Premier League is back with one of its biggest clashes of the season, Arsenal traveling to Anfield to take on Liverpool. But before this massive showdown, Mikel Arteta faced the press, and what he revealed could completely shape the Gunners' approach to Sunday's battle. Injuries, squad depth, new signings, and the Anfield challenge, Arteta laid it all bare, and the updates are both worrying and intriguing. Let's break it all down. First, let's talk about Bukayo Saka, the man Arsenal fans can't bear to see sidelined. Arteta confirmed that Saka has suffered yet another hamstring issue, but here's the crucial detail. No surgery will be required. That's the good news. The bad news? He's still expected to be out for a few weeks. According to Arteta, the injury came in a moment where Saka needed full power to burst past his opponent, only for his hamstring to give way. It's not the same hamstring as before, but it's enough to keep him out of action for the short term. Whether he returns after the international break is still up in the air. Scans in the coming days will reveal more. For Arsenal, this is a hammer blow. Saka is their spark, their game changer, and losing him for a trip to Anfield is the last thing fans wanted to hear. But Saka isn't the only worry. Captain Martin Ødegaard is also a major doubt. Arteta admitted that Ødegaard has yet to train, and while the staff are doing everything possible to make him available, it will all depend on how he feels on the eve of the game. The boss was quick to downplay fears of a long-term issue, but the uncertainty surrounding Arsenal's midfield maestro adds another layer of tension. Without Ødegaard, the team loses its heartbeat, its rhythm and its creativity in tight spaces. And then there's Kai Havertz. The German has undergone surgery, and Arteta didn't sugarcoat it. We're talking weeks, possibly months, on the sidelines. For a player who had finally started to find form and rhythm in an Arsenal shirt, this setback is brutal. Arteta described the situation as very unfortunate, very sad for him, acknowledging how well Havertz had recovered from his previous injury, only to be struck down again. Surgery was deemed the best option by the medical staff, but it means Arsenal lose yet another key piece of their attack. Add these names up: Saka, Ødegaard, Havertz, 3 vital players all sidelined at the same time. Arteta called it a very unfortunate situation, but he also reminded everyone that this is exactly why a big squad is essential. Injuries are part of football, and in his words, Arsenal now need to cope and sustain the level. Still, going into Anfield without some of your most influential players feels like going into battle missing your best weapons, and it doesn't stop there. White and Mathias Nørgaard are also in doubt, with the medical team working round the clock to see if they can be involved. That's potentially 5 players Arsenal could be without in one of their toughest fixtures of the season. But it's not all doom and gloom. Arteta also spoke with excitement about Arsenal's new signing, Eberechi Eze. The manager was glowing in his praise, describing Eze as a player with a special aura, someone who already brings energy, freedom, and unpredictability to the squad. He compared Eze's smooth ball control and ability to glide past opponents to legends like Santi, Cazorla, and Tomas Rosicky. For Arsenal fans, that's music to the ears. And when asked if Eze could go straight into the team against Liverpool, Arteta kept his cards close to his chest, refusing to give any clues. But the message was clear. Arsenal now have options, and Eze could be the wild card. So what about the big game itself? Facing Liverpool at Anfield has always been a nightmare for Arsenal. The crowd, the intensity, the quality of the opposition, it's a ground where the Gunners have suffered time and again. Arteta knows this, but his message was bold. We have to go to Anfield with spirit and conviction. He admitted that Liverpool are champions for a reason, praising their consistency and ability to win in different ways. But he also insisted that Arsenal's goal this season is to become that kind of team, ruthless, adaptable, and relentless. When asked if this could be a season-defining game, Arteta didn't shy away. He called it a very important one, stressing that Arsenal want to continue building momentum by winning big matches in convincing fashion. His formula for victory at Anfield: be better than before, be more efficient, and most importantly, believe that they can go there and win. It sounds simple, but history shows it's anything but. Arteta also acknowledged the evolution of Liverpool's squad this season. With several new signings, Liverpool have adjusted their style slightly, giving different players the chance to influence games in different ways. For Arteta, that makes Sunday's clash even more unpredictable. 2 teams in transition, both chasing the same prize, the Premier League crown. The Arsenal manager also touched on the importance of adding players like Eze and Gyökeres, players who can provide magic moments in attack, the kind of moments that turn tight games into victories. With Saka and Havertz out, Arsenal will need those contributions more than ever. Of course, no press conference would be complete without questions about squad happiness and player futures. On Gabriel Martinelli, Arteta was firm. The Brazilian is not going anywhere. In fact, Arteta doubled down on Martinelli's importance, calling him very, very, very important, and highlighting his ability to change games from the front line. On squad depth, Arteta admitted his main job is to keep players as happy as possible, ensuring they feel valued even when competition for places is fierce. Finally, when asked if Liverpool are the favourites to win the league again, Arteta's answer was simple: the favourite is always the one that won the previous year. In other words, it's on Arsenal and the rest of the chasing pack to take the crown off Liverpool's head. So here's the picture. Arsenal head to Anfield missing key players, relying on new faces, and carrying the weight of past failures at this stadium. But Arteta's message is clear: no excuses, no fear. Arsenal want to prove they can beat the very best, even in the toughest circumstances. Will Eze be the surprise weapon? Can Martinelli step up in Saka's absence? And will the Gunners finally overcome the Anfield curse? Sunday will give us the answers.